Welcome to Ok Aussie, and today I will be doing the video. Yes, I'm in the same pajamas. It is crazy town in this house. So, and you are busy doing... That coughing that coughing creeps me out.
I know, right? What happens when you have an anaphylaxis reaction, which, unfortunately, the hospital doesn't.
It sounds horrible
Understand.
listening back to it, but we've got the SAMI-3 for my seizure stuff, so naturally it was on that night, and that's when it happened, and it's like, I'm struggling to breathe, and they're like, yeah, no, it's fine, but yeah, nut allergy. You know, it's like, guys, like, you don't realize you took so long to, like, I went by ambulance. It took so long to get there.
You were ramped up for 7 hours.
Yep.
7 hours in ramping before they actually saw you.
And it's like, we've got it on footage that in real time of how it happened.
And on the first day that was applied, which is designed to actually
liquid Benadryl, and I had a
got...
Phenergan.
Anyway.
Which is what I've been taught to do, because since I was a little child, I've had allergies that are anaphylaxis style allergies. Not just hay fever. Not saying that hay fever is not a shit show. I know it is. But I'm just saying my allergies are normally either mild, moderate, or severe anaphylaxis. So it's great fun. Anyway, that was a great night, wasn't it, by ambulance? Anyway, we're leaving you there.
Bye.
Sorry, he's doing the legal work, so let's just go somewhere else. Okay, so guys, sorry, I had to go to this room. What's going on? I've got this.
Why are your alarms going off? You've just walked into here and you're dying. Oxygen stats are 91 and your heart rate's 130.
Okay. Right,
so I've got alarms going off and I'm thinking, what the hell, just because you walked into here?
I know, right? I had to move the camera to that end, and I just walked from one room to another.
Take a few deep breaths.
Oh, I do feel dizzy, actually, come to think of it.
I'm trying to do legal work.
Okay, and I'm trying to just do some videos.
Not helping me.
Down below threshold.
Right, you're back to 112 heart rate. You should be on your 50 beats, but that's okay, 112.
I need my drink. I can't walk there and back.
Are you kidding me? I am trying to work. I've got legal work to do.
Just my drink, that's all I need.
Your oxygen's still 91%. Survival
number one. Liquid, right? You can survive without food longer than you can liquid. Don't trust me, okay? Because my brain's broken. It's really not normal. Maximus was being rather annoying. He thinks it's his room.
Behave.
I'm behaving.
Your
I'm now.
92.
I'm gonna sit and rock and be. It's a rocking chair. You're gonna get your paw. Okay, I can't rock, so I'll squash his paws. He's a baby. He doesn't understand anything, and he has no fear. Anyway, so what you just saw is this is our existence at the moment. Now, I hope this is not going to be a long existence of this. But things have gotten serious, and sometimes when you know, have to take measures to get healthcare, it's for mild things or moderate things, and it's not really life-threatening. When it becomes life-threatening, it's sort of, yeah, you have to take serious action, and that's just what we're being forced to do. We have begged for reconciliation and sensible discussions and plan managements for my 22Q, and you know, given the options which have been offered, such as the Children's Hospital specialists have welcomed phone calls, etc., etc. There's guidelines that are written that they can follow, which they refuse to. That's their choice. But as a person with the syndrome, I say no. I deserve healthcare as much as anyone. And so, Australians, if you don't know this, yes, I'm an Australian born citizen, and I am fighting for healthcare to save my life. Like, literally what's now it's got to is they are constantly and now permanently, with the situation I'm in, risking my life. And I would prefer to prolong my life, and I have the right to that. It's a human right, right? You have human rights to live. That's just so not fair. I can't, like, it's like a leash, you know, and they just, you pull a bit too much and they go, I know what you're doing. I'm going to get into trouble. Shh. I've already had a heart spray. I should be good. I've had one nitrolingual spray. Going great. Not normal, guys. I've got my stockings back on because I was wrong. I tried to make up my own theory. Okay, I'm not a medical practitioner. I made up my own theory and I said I don't need them. I'm now self-gaslighting. Oh, it's just, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I can wear it for every now and then and for an hour. And I was wrong. So, had to admit to that, and then hence, now they're back on. Anyway, my heart's not good. It's not been taken serious enough. And that's because, to be honest, this is just my personal opinion for entertainment purposes only. They know that the risk factors for 22q patients, regardless of whether you're born with congenital heart disease or not, that in your 40s and 50s, cardiac death is high. To the point where a cardiologist that I was overhearing on a telehealth to Matt, in the old days, we just used to put them out to pasture. You know, there's just nothing we can do. Which is a lie, as you can imagine, people like us. I'm no different to you guys. If you were diagnosed with cancer, you'd look it up too. You don't mess with your health and you always have to self-advocate. So if you don't learn the basics of what you've got, like I have to learn 22q. I have no choice. It could be the matter of life and death for me one day in a doctor appointment, right? So I have to know. I have to be able to know my risk factors, what I should do, shouldn't do, how to live my best life, because also lifestyle affects these things. So anyway, that is not the right response. And then also now it's got to the point where my hospital exit reports do not match the truths of what happened, which is pretty stupid because we have many receipts and witnesses. So I'm a bit shocked. But guys, Australian healthcare is becoming the mafia in my eyes, and I feel bullied. I feel the lack of access as a disabled woman is disgusting. Every life is worth saving. Every life is worthy of living. It is actually your human rights, and you are protected under many different agencies for human rights. We're a first world country, and I'd like to ask Mr. Albanese and any of the other idiots about to step in and pretend to be someone who leads us, what are you going to do about the healthcare? Because the death rate of lack of healthcare, it's in the newspaper, guys. Just look up the newspaper each day and look for people that are dying from medical neglect in Australia. It's not okay. Imagine if that was your family. Bless you. Whew. Imagine if that was your family member. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. And you can build a sports stadium for millions and millions of dollars. You can give away aid for billions of dollars, and the mining companies don't pay tax. I'm in WA. The mining companies are ruining my WA, but they don't pay taxes. Look it up. Fact check me. It's fact. So our hospitals don't get any money. And then, of course, all the good doctors and nurses go, well, I don't want to work there because I cannot look someone in the eye, and I can't count how many nurses did look me in the eye and said, whether I've been in ED or an inpatient in the last 3 years, that have said to me, I am so sorry. That this is not how it should be. And I'm really, really sorry. And literally because a few times I've had so many close calls, so many things could have killed me in the last 3 years. And I've had so many close calls that some of these nurses, you know, imagine that pressure on them. Then the doctors, the only ones left in these hospitals are literal sociopaths. They just don't care. It could be a child, it could be a baby, it could be an elderly person, or it could just be someone my age. They just don't care. They just don't care. GPs, I think they're different. I think GPs have become probably more empathetic because I think they're seeing what happens in the system that they send people to all the time, because GP is always the first entry point. Something's wrong, you check it out with the GP. That's the normal path. There's not always, sometimes emergency departments is the path, but most of the time we go to our GPs, we report what's going on, the GP does what they do, and then you normally, if there's something that, you know, is big enough, requires the hospital system, which is where it fails. Sometimes it can start even at the GP. There has been cases that the GP has failed the people. So you do have to choose a good GP. I do advise that, but I'm just saying, like, most GPs compared to hospital doctors, I believe, have more ethics and do want to do the right thing and do what they've always done historically. But these hospitals are businesses. And see, people always question, you know, but how is Dyan telling the truth? Do you want to know how? Because chemo bloody therapy, cancer earns money to the hospital. I don't earn money to the hospital. I'm taking money. So when they look at people like me in my category, they go, yeah, we don't earn money from her, so like, that is my belief. For entertainment purposes only, that is my belief. And it's my opinion, you know? So, yes, it would be better if I had cancer or something like that, because at least I would get treatment, care, been seen properly, promptly, seen with the right attitude and just want to save my life. I know when I got all the pamphlets, which I'm pretty sure wasn't my actual probably geneticist herself per se, but the bundle I got for 22q information, and because it's genetic, I'm assuming that's why they give it to the mothers that way, but I got the same thing because I'm late diagnosed as an adult, but an abortion pamphlet was in there. Western Australia. An abortion pamphlet was in there. Imagine feeling that something you have that you were just born with, but you think of your life as worthy and as a life that is just like anyone else, and that you're meant to be here. And imagine reading that and going, they could have sat my parents down if they knew I had this in the belly of my mother and said, you know what, she's just not going to be good enough. So I think we should literally smurder your baby inside the womb. It's just misleading mothers. It's just, I don't think my life has been not worth living. Even if I die tomorrow, yes, I'm disappointed because I don't get to see my children grow more and my grandchildren. Of course, that's not what I want. But if I died tomorrow, my life has been worth living, I'll tell you that. I have had, even despite the crap that people have tried to bring me down. People have tried to absolutely scapegoat me. I'm the scapegoat of my whole family, okay? I am a survivor of that, and I have conquered above that, found my worth and gone, no way. I am meant to be, I have a purpose. And I have done things with that purpose. And if I die tomorrow, I'm fine with that. Because I've done a lot. I've lived. But reading a pamphlet saying that others look at you differently and see you as not worthy of life, and now facing it now, because that's all I'm asking for from my hospital, is I want treatment. Yeah? And all the 22Q adults are all in this same boat. So look at the Association of Australia and New Zealand. They have been probably battling to get awareness for this reason, because in Western Australia, when Matt went to the conference for 22Q, which was luckily held in Perth, WA, the year I was diagnosed, there were so many worried parents, because all of us have to be guardians either under your parent, or if you are married, you probably will be under like a guardian with your partner. But basically it's a high recommendation because of the risk factors socially to be put under guardianship from 18. So these parents were hugely frustrated, worried, concerned about their child's future and what they were going through, because their child had gone from an adolescent, so they stopped going to the children's hospital from 16 here. Sometimes they'll take them to 18, and then definitely at 18, you go to the adult hospitals. That's just charming, sweetheart. Like, sorry, excuse me, let's just close that door, because no one wants to see that. No one wants to see that. Jeez, I'm so sorry for my bad-mannered cat. Sorry, I treat cats like humans, so he needs to do that in private. He's just a toddler, okay? Would you let your toddler just take their pants down and go to the toilet in front of the TV? No. Anyway, so basically, it's not good in WA for 22Qers who are adults, and that's just not good enough. It's like when I went to my oh my goodness, when I went to my okay, just give up, son. All right, you're not Spider-Man. You might have the costume, but like, do you know your other brother? I know that was Superman. My youngest son would not take off the Superman costume for quite a few days. It was getting quite concerning. Anyway, sorry. He was so cute though. So hard to be serious with these cute faces when they're at that age, isn't it? That 5 and under, I could not discipline. My mother-in-law would go, geez, that was like, geez, mummy, come on. Don't just let him get away with that. He's just got you wrapped around his finger. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I'm pathetic. I really am. Yeah, it's like, wait till your father gets home, because I could not discipline well. I was useless. I was like, yes, you can do anything you want. Because I was beaten as a child, you see. So I was like, overcompensation. That's fine. You ate the whole loaf of bread. There's no bread for tomorrow, and I have to drive down to the IGA. That's okay. Mummy's not mad. Not at all. I'm just going to go down to IGA with a smile on my face and get in the car and just do some car karaoke. Anyway, sidetracking. So basically, yeah, it's just not good enough, and I hope that through my journey here that I can fight for every 22Qer in Australia. I want to see clinics in every state for adults. There is no excuse in a first world country to not have treatment just because you have a rare syndrome. I'm glad the children are covered, but what happens when they turn 16 to 18 and they get scooped into the adult one and everything goes to shit, basically. And all these parents have said it. It's not good enough. That's my opinion. I'll tell you that right now. To me, I feel discriminated against of my disability of 22Q. End of story. I feel like all of my limitations that I've got due to 22Q of access to get to the hospital almost once a fortnight, having them, you know, because of my complaints, go, well, we're not giving you telehealth. It's like, grow up. It's so immature. And then you go to the front desk, check in, and they're all like, and it's like, oh my goodness, you guys need to grow the fuck up. Like, seriously, if you work in a medical establishment and you're given directives and you're not told why and you're just told the patient's difficult or whatever else, just be fucking careful, because I'm telling you, this is turning into what I call, and this is for entertainment purposes only, but if I die before we can get this sorted, to me that's manslaughter, because they are purposely doing it. And my sons will suffer greatly, and so will my partner. And they won't let that rest. So no matter which way this goes, there will be a fight. And I urge all of you in Australia right now, I don't care what category of human rights it might be, whether it's the right to have access to somewhere to live, a house, whether it's the right to get a job, to have a job, to keep a job because you're disabled or something, or whether it's just, you know, just because you're unemployed and you really are looking for a job and you've ended up in a really difficult situation, you are still worthy to be treated with respect. What happened to the Australian way? What happened to helping a mate out, guys? To taking a casserole to that family person in the street that you know that that person, that there's someone in that household that is extremely sick. What happened to that? I'm disgusted. And you know what? I understand these people saying, I'm just going to focus on me and fill my cup. I get that. But it is being twisted, guys. Be cautious of this. I agree that you should always do self-care. That is 110% essential just for your health care, including it's like going to the dentist, going to the GP every now and then, just getting yourself checked out. It is just as valuable for having self-care, but I will say this. If you're wanting too much me, it's all about me, guys, that is causing so much suffering. And that's where, don't say that the mental health crisis should be handled by professionals. Why don't you check on your mates, check on your family, check on people around you at work? If you notice something, say something. Are you okay? Not just on okay day, every day. If you see someone, even a stranger, if you see someone crying in public, why don't you just say, are you okay? Be the angel that you have sometimes had come to you in a certain time in public. I've had it. I'm sure you guys have had it. There's been these people that have come along in these wild times in public, and you're like, geez, that person is just, you know, they've really tapped into something there, so they know something. Like for me, it might be disability. They've noticed it's hard for me to get around in my wheelchair at the shops, and they've been extra compassionate. I'm like, they have someone in their family who needs a wheelchair. They know this battle. But yeah, what kind of person do you want to be? Because there are people hurting out there, and no one's listening. There's homeless. Families are just absolutely broken apart because there's a lot of young ones that have taken it too far about themselves to the point where, no, I'm not going to see my parents anymore. No. You can have your freedom without getting rid of your parents. You don't have to be extreme with everything. Every parent understands when their child grows up that their child's priority is their own life. That is, if they don't, they are toxic. But if they do, and they respect the fact that you're running your life now, and it's nothing is your say anymore. If they're not like that, that is toxic. I get that. I get that one. But I'm just saying, for normal parents, just to want you to visit occasionally, just understand that even if you don't agree with your parents the way they are or who they are your parents. Of course, you're meant to be different. People are born with different personalities. So, same with people at work. You might have someone at work that you go, that person just shits me. Now, I'm not going to talk here about abuse and toxic people. They are, to me, it's a no contact thing. Okay? It's like stay away, or, you know, like just if you do have to have contact because you have to wrap something up with them, you know, you just make sure you've got people around you, just kind of hear any crap going on, because some people crazy. But basically, like, if there's none of that, I'm talking the normal situations here of just, you know, communication is key. You know, like, boundaries are both ways. Like, the way you have your life and do your life is totally your choice. It's actually no one else's choice. Never let anyone tell you what to do. And same within relationships, it's decided by the two people in it. So you might look at someone else's relationship and go, that's really dysfunctional. But if those two people are cool with it, then it's just not your place to say. Once again, I'm not talking about the toxic side. If anything's toxic or whatever else, that's different. But anyway, I just think that I can't believe that in a professional setting that this is going on. I am ashamed of the health workers I've experienced. I'm talking about the bad ones, not the good ones. The bad ones. I am ashamed. I am appalled. They just, to me, it is utter. It shows a high on the scale of sociopathy. It's just scary. And it is, being that I've been a medical person stuck in the system since 70s, since I was born in 1974, I can tell you this, it didn't used to be like this. But when money came into healthcare, doctors changed. Not all, it's not black and white here. Like I said, the bad doctors really got in there and went, well, I'm going to make the most of this, to the extent where to them a deceased client is just, oh, that's sad. Next. That's pretty much it. And it never used to be like that. And I just think that I know personally in my own, the sad part of my syndrome of what I have to plan for the worst, hope for the best. And in my planning of my ending, so to speak, is that I don't want to die in a hospital, because I don't want my dying experience to be a medical experience. I want it to be a spiritual experience. And I want it to be peaceful. I don't want it to be all clinical and gross and, you know, the disrespect that gets shown in hospitals of noisy environments and just beeps and this and that going on, and this poor person is dying. I just don't think that's, to me, the type of person that I am, that's disgusting. Yeah, so that will not be, hopefully, I can't always say that I have total control on that because it depends on where I am when something happens, if something happens, you know what I mean. So, but that's my preference if I have a choice, of course. But yeah, just my advice to everyone out there, because it's changing in Australia particularly, but if you also have a country that is like, am I just stabbing my drink on my pajamas? Gosh, I'm about to shower. I have done so many videos in this. You must be thinking, how long have you been wearing that? Trust me, not that long. It's not like what you think. But you know, it's like, if you're out there, my advice to you is to get every blood result, pathology result in your hands, is to have a wonderful relationship with your general practitioner, to stick with your general practitioner, you know, no matter what. And, you know, that's, for some people, that's hard to do. For me, it's not. Like, you know, you've got to remember, like, these people have, like, I know in sticking with one general practitioner surgery for 7 years, this one's what, 8 years maybe, and a bit of a crossover there between the two. I've always had and went to the good doctors of those surgeries, and yeah, they have bad days, but it's worth sticking it out because, I mean, for starters, I gave up intolerance for Lent. Okay, so just like we need it, and I have done a lot of thinking about that. I know that in my meltdowns, I can get a little bit snippy, you know. You say things you don't mean at all, you know. So, like, I just know that you've got to give that same grace that you give to yourself, even though I don't really give myself grace. I have guilt all the time, but you've got to give grace to others. So, stick it out with a good GP. I mean, first make sure they're a good GP, and maybe that they perhaps specialise in what you've got, or just have the expertise for what you've got. Always take notes, just your own personal notes. Ask a ton of questions to specialists, etc. Use the internet, print out, like, make sure it's from a resource that's trusted by, like, say if you gave it to a doctor, it's from a trustworthy source. Print out medical journal articles, show it to the doctor and say, that is a concern because of what it says in there, and that's recent and latest and blah, blah, blah. You can do that. You can request that they Google certain things if you, say, have a rare syndrome, etc., and ask that you want to know more about how this affects your particular syndrome. There are so many things, but always take names, titles, what their, like, title is of what they are. You know, what are they, just administration, and what level of administration they are. Just document everything. Everything. Get letters from your doctor. Tell your doctor every time. Like, I know I tell my GP, I say to him, oh, when I fall asleep at night, I am having panic attacks because of this. And that was going on all week, you know. So please just put that down, because you got to get it in the moments that it's going on, and then it can be matched to perhaps what's going on somewhere else, like the hospital, for example, which is seems to be my problem, as you are probably hearing. And that's not everyone at the hospital, by the way, because there is some good people there. But yeah, that's my advice. And speak up for yourself. Be educated on whatever you have. Okay? Don't take their crap where they say, oh my, you know, people that look into their own things, it's just silly, you're just going to get yourself upset. Just tell them that that is absolutely disgraceful and irresponsible to actually tell you to not be aware of your healthcare needs, to not look at what your lifestyle should be for what you have, to look into things of the do's and don'ts. Because if they're not doing it, and I bet you if you're in Australia, they probably haven't done that bit. Hey, you shouldn't bend this way. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Okay? And then if they do say, well, you shouldn't look it up, then ask them questions. Say, well, then next time I come for my appointment, I'm going to come with a list of questions about my condition, and I'm going to ask you. And I would really like it if you would answer with honesty, and if you don't have the answer, to let me know and then find out for me, because this is important for my health. You have the right to be involved in your medical appointments. It is not a speak at you. It is a collab. Yes, they have the expertise and they deserve the respect for that, but you are the expert of your body and your symptoms. They cannot talk about your symptoms unless the symptoms are obvious, you know. So if you get a rash and you know that, well, the rash isn't going to be there at the appointment, is it? Take photographs, take videos. Even if you're not a vlogger like me, I mean, it's convenient being a vlogger like me, but just take photos, record it. Even when you're in hospital and the heart monitor's going, oh, there's AFibs, AFib, 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 okay? Take a video recording, take photos. Just look after yourself, okay? Please look after yourself. Please advocate. Find a disability lawyer if you need one to give you advice on how to get the best access to healthcare and pathways. Find out through some advocates. Take in your carers if you're under the NDIS and you have carers. Try and make your appointments so that your carer can come with you and assist you as being like a support person. You have the right, by the way, whether it's going through ED, whether it's outpatient, whether it's a GP appointment, you all have the right to a support person to be present with you. They have no right to refuse. So just remember that. And if they say, oh, I want to bring in a, you know, doctor or a nurse or whatever to just sit in on this, you do have the right to refuse that, okay? You don't have to accept medical students. When they ask you, if you don't want that, say no. If you know that that's going to distract your specialist, and I do actually advise, if you're dealing with serious stuff like with me, with my syndrome, it is actually, to be honest, I would do this. I recommend you do this if it's a serious appointment. You say no, because that specialist, you cannot tell me he's not going to be distracted by the student and educating the student instead of focusing on you. And they are so time poor, which they claim that's the government's fault. Well, you know what? Government, fix it. Because Amber Jade Sanderson, you're full of crap, okay? Actually make the things that are meant to happen. We'll just get out of the gig because you're just not performing. You're just not making a difference in anyone's life. Senator Jordan Steele, oh my goodness, I just want to shake your hand. I honor and respect you, dude. Like, keep going. Keep going. Like, you are a hero to us, people who have disabilities of all different kinds. Okay, guys, just know this dude is for real. He's genuine. So anyway, but write letters to your local politicians, write letters to the health department, do anything you need to do if you feel you're at risk of anything that could really adversely affect you by not getting adequate healthcare. Please speak to those types of people and log everything and make sure your voice is heard, because you deserve it. So thanks for listening, and I'm so sorry that I have a serious topic situation going on at the moment and that my vlogs are different at the moment. They will resume as soon as possible to, you know, living life, because yes, this will be a big part of our life sometimes, and then at other times we'll be back to normal, and that you won't see that going on because it'll be less that day or that week or that fortnight. So wish us luck though on all of this, but I don't think we need it. But it's just annoying having to go through this process just to get my rights met, which I shouldn't have to fight for. But human rights, guys, just know, yes, I've had the breaches, but they don't have the powers to take action, as in punish. I think we should change that personally, but anyway, that's not my job, that's you politicians. So when you vote, guys, and you're disabled in Australia, we're coming up to voting, just do your homework, because both of them have promised better health in hospitals and have never delivered. So be careful. I personally, I don't care what people think. I've done my vote for state, and I'll do the same vote for federal. It's like going to federal court. Bring it on, bitches! Federal voting will be the same. I'm voting for independence. I do vote for people that want good things for families, particularly, because I just believe in families. Okay, so I don't go for the two big wigs. They can go jump off a bridge, as far as I'm concerned. For entertainment purposes only. Don't want to be sick by a politician. Anyway, I will see you in hopefully a better video. It's a bit more cool. The moment it's stressful. Anyway, this is going to go off in a minute probably, and I'll get into trouble because I can't hide anything, guys. And I should rest. I've had one heart spray, so I'm going to go rest. I just like this living bit. It's more fun. Anyway, signing out. See you next time. Bye.